Yo, what's good? This Marcus, channel the Debt Free Dad. I just wanted to give a quick update on this whole Jonathan Majors thing. And it's just stupid. And I probably go on a rant at some point about how terrible his attorney's team is. Priya Chaudhry is the name of his counsel. Now, early on, I think it was Sunday or Monday or whenever this occurred early on, they said they had evidence, they have text messages, they had videos, they got a receipt, a testimony from the driver of the taxi. And now we all come to find out that they may have video evidence, is what she's saying. And the text messages that they submitted are just trash. Like, real talk, I don't know where they find these attorneys at. I'm I'm no damn Johnny Cochran, but this is crazy. I would have played this completely differently. When you see these text messages, this shit could have been kept to themselves and saved it for a later date. This should not have been released in the public. Now, early on when I did the video, I didn't know I have information on the victim, but I do have information on the victim now. The victim is a white female, and everybody say, "Oh, that doesn't make a difference. That doesn't make a difference." We live in the United States where they had federal laws such as the Mann Act, which had provisions in them to prevent interracial couples from being together and traveling across state lines. So that has relevance. You know what else has relevance? The fact that Jonathan Majors played a damn boxer and a supervillain. So there's a real imbalance of power there. It is what it is. We just have to take that into consideration. If it was a black woman, if it was an Asian woman, a Hispanic woman, assault is assault. The allegations are the allegations. But just historically, if you don't know this, you aren't paying attention to what's going on in the United States. There is always an underground imbalance when it's a this description or imbalance of power related to a black male and a white woman. That's just kind of baked into our society. And, hey, it comes from you know BS racism, of course, but the shit is what it is. So we got to just understand that going in. We got to understand how certain people may perceive this moving forward. So his attorneys are pretty much terrible, in my opinion. It's just a shit show, and I think they're handling this all wrong. Let's go ahead, pull up the article. I'm gonna talk about the article, then I'm gonna go through the text messages as well. So this is an article released by TMZ. They get all the shit. Lawyer shows text messages from alleged victim that says woman admitted fault. That's not what the text messages say. It said Jonathan Major attorney says she has receipts regarding the assault claims against her client, text in which the alleged victim admits she's to blame and says she doesn't want the actor prosecuted. Major's lawyer, Priya Chaudhry, tells TMZ the woman in question sent a few texts to the Creed 3 actor an hour after his arrest, admitting that she was the one who used physical force against him. In the text, Chaudhry claims the woman sent says she's angry how Jonathan had been handcuffed and she asked, we'll make sure, blah, 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 blah. Let me just go ahead and pull up the text messages now because I want y'all to take a look at the actual text messages because that is what's important here. And I got it on a separate screen, so it's a little bit bigger. So hopefully you all can see it better. So the text in the top right hand corner is a text from Jonathan Majors, and it says, "Did you leave the keys?" Question mark. Then it says goodbye blank, and that's blanked out. I'm gonna tell y'all right now. I'm just gonna go ahead and put bitch in there. I'm pretty sure it didn't say goodbye, dear, or it didn't just say goodbye, honey, or goodbye, boo. Nah, I'm gonna assume that that black square, if I could remove that, it was a bitch behind there. All right, now let's take a look at her text messages that she sent after. Please let me know you're okay when you get this. They assured me that you won't be charged. They said they had to arrest you as protocol when they saw the injuries on me and they knew we had a fight. Okay, this language right here, I told y'all before in the other video, in New York is one of those states where there's domestic assault. Somebody's getting arrested. That's just kind of how it rolls. That's how their laws are set up. They got to arrest somebody. Now, this is interesting because It was protocol when they saw the injuries on me. So she confirms that there were injuries on her. And they knew we had a fight. They knew we had a fight. The term fight denotes, hey, some back and forth, two parties involved most times or all the time with the fight. So hey, that's just kind of look at. I'm so angry that they did, and I'm sorry you're in this position. We will make sure nothing happens about this. I told them it was my fault for trying to grab your phone. Terrible statement. Terrible statement. Attorneys, y'all should have kept that shit. I told them that it was my fault. I'm gonna tell you how I initially read this. I initially read this as something that is quite common. I've had probably 100 trials on domestic assault as a defense attorney. Yeah, probably hundreds. Yeah, definitely hundreds. Hundreds of trials on domestic assault over the years. And this could be construed as what we see often when it comes to DV stuff. A woman who may actually have been assaulted, they feel bad, they love the guy, they're like, oh, I'm just gonna tell him it's my fault to hope this all goes away. That shit happens all the time. I'm not saying that's happening in this case. I'm just telling y'all how this could be interpreted. This is a bigger problem, the second part of this sentence. I told them it was my fault for trying to grab your phone. So you conceded that you all had a fight. You conceded that you have injuries, and now you're conceding that it was your fault, not because you attacked him, but because you grabbed his phone. So you grabbed his phone, and this is what it sounds like. You grabbed his phone, and he snatched you up by your collar, which is what led to the injuries. He has assault charges, harassment charges, attempted harassment charges, and all of those typical type of things. I only just got out of the hospital. So you clearly had injuries because your ass was in the hospital at some point. That's how they found these scars. I think they describe them as lacerations that she had on her neck area. Just call me when you get out. I love you. Then the second part says they just called again to check on me, and I reiterated how this was not an attack and they do not have my blessing on any charges being placed. They don't need your blessing. They have the information, and you continue to flap his gums, and his attorney continue to release out stuff that they purport to be evidence of his innocence, which I think is probably more in line with the opposite. And this shit should not have came out. But yeah, it's not up to you if the charges get pressed. Once the law system, the judicial system got involved, the process is going to play out. I read the paper they gave me about strangulation and said point blank, this did not occur and should be removed immediately. The judge is definitely going to be told about this. She ensures this to me. I know you have the best team and there's nothing to worry about. I just want you to know that I'm doing all I can on my end. I also said to tell the judge to know that the origin of the call was to do with me collapsing and passing out, and your worry as my partner due to our communication prior. Out of care. She promised all will be relayed. So the judge don't really got nothing to do if all of this moves forward. That's completely up to the prosecutor. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. Like, yo, if I'm the prosecutor and I saw this text messages, I'm definitely moving forward. I'm definitely moving forward because this text message, I think, can be interpreted more favorable to the prosecution side of Jonathan Majors than his damn defense. And so that's just kind of what it is. The other thing I thought was interesting also to tell the judge, that the origin of the call had to do with me collapsing and passing out. I have questions on clarification. Is that because of some previous medical condition, or you collapsed and passed out because of what occurred that night? It doesn't help. I'm not saying that the brother did it or didn't do it. I'm just saying that this shit does not look like evidence in his favor from the eyes of an attorney who's been in the defense side, the prosecution, the investigation side for almost 14 damn years. It just don't look favorable, in my opinion. Y'all let me know what y'all think. If y'all watch this far, make sure y'all subscribe to the channel, like the video, share for more content. I just think it's a bad look. I think his attorney is terrible. We're gonna see how this plays out. Now, this is probably the method that any competent defense attorney would use. I'm not saying anything against his attorney. Oh, hell, I already said something against him. I just don't like how they moving. But this is how a defense attorney thinks. We got the charges. Do you have an affirmative defense to the charges? I'm gonna just be honest. I don't see it. Affirmative defense would be, yeah, I grabbed her by the back of her neck to restrain her because she was hitting me. I don't see anything that would corroborate that. I don't see Jonathan Majors having any scratches or lacerations on his person. So I just don't see a defense of self defense being able to use to justify why this assault occurred, in my opinion. So if we don't have an affirmative defense, the next thing we would look to do is see if there could be any jury nullification. We can't defend this with self defense, but can we nullify a jury? Is it possible to find a jury of 12 people who, based on the facts that they have at time, that nothing's going to happen? This allegedly stemmed from, and this is consistent from with what we're hearing. He received a text message from another girl. That's why she was trying to grab the phone. Then whatever occurred happened after that. So that kind of flows and it kind of makes sense and it's kind of consistent. Um, right now, let's just talk about what it is. We have 911 being called. When you have person A and person B, female is saying this happened, guy saying this happened, we got to just look down the middle. When it's only A and B, we got to look and see what sides the evidence tipped towards. So let's put this in the context. She has some type of lacerations or injuries that she had to go to the hospital for. He doesn't have any type of lacerations or injuries that were reported or have been reported that would support he was defending himself from being attacked. So far, it's tipping towards the prosecution side. The next thing is these text messages. I'm gonna be honest, these text messages tend to lean towards the prosecution side. It tends to go towards more towards the story of someone who wants it all to go away. They regret that they got law enforcement involved. She admits that uh she didn't admit that it was her fault. She admitted that it started because she grabbed his phone. She admitted and conceded that she had some injuries. I mean, like, I don't think that's favorable to him. I'm probably going to put that more in the prosecution side. If they have a video, which his attorney Chaudhry said they had a video, now she coming out saying they may have a video. Sound like bullshit, BS to me. No video right now. Everything is kind of leaning towards the prosecution side. The thing that the prosecution or that she'll probably do is refuse to come to court and testify. What the prosecution will likely do is, I'm not coming to court to testify, do any of this stuff, or I'm recanting my story. None of that happened. If I got you on file, filing a report saying that A happened, now you want to go say that A did not happen, that's fine. But the prosecutor is probably going to hold over her head. Okay, well, I'm just going to file you with charging a false police report, and whatever the maximum sentence is for that misdemeanor, that's what I'm going to ask for. Not a fine, not a probation. If the max is, for example, 30 days, I'm asking the judge for 30 days in custody for filing this false police report if you're saying that this didn't happen. And they're going to put that heat on her and make her sweat. And I'm sure this woman ain't going to want to go to jail for no 30 days. So she probably going to play ball, in my opinion. It's looking crazy. This brother is losing millions of dollars. He has a movie set to come out in December. He already had a U.S. Army ad that was pulled. Like, at the end of the day, my view is, bro, you got resources, you should be able to insulate yourself in a way to kind of help you avoid this. I know it's not 100% possible because, hey, we trust who we trust, and sometimes it is what it is. But, hey, I don't think he's innocent. I don't think he's guilty. I just look at the evidence, and right now, what we know is not looking favorable to him. And, it's quiet as kept. If the evidence is not favorable to him, hey, justice should be served. If he's guilty, justice should be served. If he didn't do it, justice should be served. That could cut either way. That's my opinion and take. Y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments. Hey, if you like this video, check out the video on the screen. There's going to be more content related to finances and attorney reactions.